I'm 26 male bi, and when I was a teen, I was dating one of my soccer teammates who outed me to my toxic parents after I worked up the nerve to leave him. They subsequently kicked me out, and I survived in the streets for almost 2 years until my aunt found out about me when she came home from tour and took me in. She helped me get back into school, graduate, and then get into college. I met my wife there, and we have twin boys, male preschoolers. My dad found out he was dying from cancer. He and my mom have been trying to get back in touch with me to reconcile and meet their grandkids. I've rejected them so far, even though my aunt urges me to try to reconnect. I told her no, and I didn't even want them near my boys. My wife and I went out for our anniversary Saturday, and my aunt watched the kids. My wife wasn't feeling well, so we decided to call it an early night. I forgot to call my aunt before we got there. I pulled up and noticed my parents' car. Confused, we got out and went in, and my parents were playing with my sons in the living room. To say I was angry is an understatement. I immediately asked what the heck is going on. My wife tried to calm me down to no avail. She takes the boys to the car. My parents started talking about how they just wanted to meet them, and I yelled at them to get out. My aunt says I'm not being fair to them and that they've tried to apologize for what happened. I yelled at her that it wasn't her place to let them and how it hurt seeing them. I yelled at her about how our family basically excommunicated her when she came out. She starts crying, explaining that they just showed up at her house. She starts saying she wished she made up with her brother, my dad, and my grandparents years ago if she had the chance, and I'm being selfish knowing my dad is dying. I didn't know what to say after that and just left. My wife says I was being unfair to my aunt if they just showed up and that maybe my aunt's right. She also thinks I shouldn't have yelled at her like that after all she did for me. Am I the idiot here? Your aunt should not have let your parents in to meet your children, even if they showed up unannounced. Just because someone is knocking doesn't mean they get entry. She could have just told them that yes, she's watching your children, but it's not for her to be making unilateral decisions. And just because she wishes she'd made up with someone is no reason for her to foist that upon you. That decision is yours and yours alone. Not the idiot, and I'm sorry this happened to you. It had to be very unsettling. I think the whole "they just showed up" thing is crap. They just happened to invite themselves over on the one night both OP and his wife are supposed to be out all night. And it also just happened to be the night that Aunt Come On Give 'Em a Chance pushover pants is babysitting. Fishy, that's all I'm saying. I agree, this feels like it was planned, so OP wouldn't know about it. It does make you wonder how many times this has happened before. If the kids were relaxed and playing with OP's parents, I bet it's not the first time. I doubt his parents regret anything. They want access to the children. They're all fine with OP because he married a woman and isn't gay anymore, not because they're genuinely remorseful about their abandonment of their own son. Exactly. The day they kicked out and disowned OP is also the day they could not claim future grandkids. Aunt can't be trusted on this. She's using your kids to work through her issues. I'm afraid you'll need to find a new babysitter. Nobody who tosses their child out and leaves them to survive on the street is owed anything by that child ever, under any circumstances. People who didn't live your life can butt family all day long. They don't get a say. This dispute involves me, 33 female, and my partner, 36 male. I have a good corporate job. I bought a townhouse 7 years ago when I was single. I met my partner 3 years ago. He moved into my townhouse, pays occasional well below market value rent, and buys occasional groceries. I cover well over 80+% of the expenses. My partner is a PhD student. When he moved in with me, he cut a lot of expenses. He no longer had to work part-time to pay his rent in a shared apartment with 4 other guys. My partner does do more housework than I, 60-40 split, and he cooks more often, 65-35. I don't mind this arrangement. I care about him deeply and we generally get along well and have a caring relationship. The issue is this. I'm selling my townhouse and buying a house. I'm fronting the entire cost and I'm the only one on the mortgage. Before we moved in, I asked my partner to sign a cohabitation agreement, basically a prenup for non-married people. I gave him the agreement, which basically said I keep the house and don't owe spousal support in the event of a breakup. We got into a big fight because my partner wanted equity in the house because of his housework. I think this is unfair. I know enough divorced couples to know you should always plan for the future. I'm worried about having to sell the house if we break up in order to pay him out. Am I crazy? Am I the idiot if I stick to my guns? Edit. In my jurisdiction, if you cohabitate long enough, you are considered a common law spouse. We're getting to the point where if we break up, He would have a lot of the same rights as he would if we were married. Not the idiot. 60% of the housework does not equal half a home. That's called pulling your weight, except he doesn't as his financial contribution is close to zero. How utterly ridiculous of him. He's 36 and a PhD student. As soon as he moved in, he stopped working as much, a really bad sign, but I'd bet everything that he doesn't use that additional time to speed up his PhD. By the time he gets it, he'll be lucky if he's 40. Then what? His resume will be so poor that he won't get any high-paying job. He'll just keep on taking advantage of you. You've subsidized his life since before he moved in, and he sees you as a money tree. He's put no cash towards it whatsoever and will not put any money towards it in the future. You'd be a complete and utter idiot if you allowed him any type of legal toehold on your property. Frankly, your 36-year-old PhD student has learned one thing: how to take advantage of you. Living with an academic is already a pain in the neck. Oh yeah, I know you'd like to go to Paris this summer, but Peoria, Illinois has a private library with the papers of J. Alfred Prufrock, and I've already got a grant to spend the summer there. What will your partner do when he graduates and gets a job far, far away? Demand that you sell your jointly owned house so that he can get his money out of it and move, whether or not you'd like to? Get the dude to sign the paperwork or kick him out. Protect yourself now. You won't get another chance. You've worked hard for what you have. Consider taking a break from the relationship. Move into your new home. He can find his own accommodations, as you should have saved a boatload from taking advantage of you for years. A break would be a good reset for both of you. P.S. Don't be an absolute dunderhead. I, 59 female, recently found out something about my son, 32 male, that I felt his wife, 30 female, had a right to know. My son is married with 2 kids and seems to have a happy family life, but I learned through a friend that he's been seeing another woman for months. At first, I didn't want to get involved because it was their marriage and I hoped he'd come to his senses. But then I overheard a conversation where he admitted to buying this woman a car, using money from a joint account he shares with his wife. That was the last straw for me. I couldn't stand by while he disrespected his wife like this and used family finances for something so deceitful. I told my son he needed to come clean to his wife, but he blew me off and said it was none of my business. So I decided to tell his wife myself. I felt awful, but I couldn't let her live in the dark about something so big. She was understandably devastated and confronted him. Now their marriage is over and my son is furious with me, saying I've ruined his life and should have stayed out of it. Some family members think I was right to tell her, while others say I crossed a line and betrayed my own child. I didn't do it out of malice. I just thought she had a right to know what he was doing. Am I the idiot? The only idiot in this story is your son. Cheaters always blame others for their actions. Well done for looking out for your daughter-in-law. Telling her was the noble thing to do. You didn't betray your own child. You're making him accountable for his actions like a responsible parent should do. Exactly. Your son's actions are what ruined his life, not your honesty. His wife deserved to know the truth, especially with the financial betrayal involved. You did the right thing, and standing up for your daughter-in-law is what will keep your daughter-in-law bringing those sweet grandbabies around. My uncle left his first wife for his side interest, who left him for another man less than a year after they got married, LOL. But my grandma always sided with the first wife, and she made sure my cousin stayed in touch with her. She, the first wife, even came to my grandma's funeral, much to my uncle's chagrin. Snort. Same with my mom. She trusted my dad when he said he was moving money around and investing in our kids' future. He was co-owner of the family business alongside my aunt. He used money from joint accounts and assets to buy his mistress a whole new house. I know she wishes someone, like my aunt, had told her years earlier what he was really up to. Cheaters and deceivers don't deserve to have their lies covered up by others. My fiancé Ryan, male 29, and I, female 29, have been together for about 3 years, and we recently decided to start trying for a baby. I'm thrilled to say I'm now pregnant with my second child. But here's where it gets complicated. My friend Audrey, female 27, and her husband Paul, male 27, have also been trying to have a baby. Audrey recently had surgery that might affect her fertility, though nothing was confirmed. They've had no luck conceiving. I know it's been tough on her. I've only known Audrey for about a year. We're not super close, but we've been hanging out more since our partners are friends. When I found out I was pregnant, I was ecstatic. I was off work, so I spent the day FaceTiming my closest friends to share the news. When Ryan came home, He wanted to tell his friends and their partners immediately. Most were at their weekly D&D night, including Paul, hosted by our friend Jeffrey. We didn't want to interrupt their game, that was why we didn't call them immediately. I decided to tell Audrey first since her husband Paul was at D&D night. I texted, "Can you keep a secret?" hoping she'd keep it from Paul so we could surprise him, and then sent a pic of my positive test. She FaceTimed me immediately, saying things like, "Wow, I'm shocked," but never congratulated me. It felt awkward and I started to feel anxious. When talking with Audrey, she insisted that we call everyone at D&D and share the news, or she would. So we did. We interrupted their game and told them. Everyone seemed happy and congratulated us. In the following weeks, Audrey began acting distant. After about 3 weeks of this, Ryan got a text from Jeff saying Audrey was really upset with me over how I told her about the pregnancy. He thought she'd get over it, but felt we should know since she hadn't. I decided to talk to Audrey, but she reached out first. I hoped we could clear the air and was ready to apologize sincerely, but the conversation didn't go well. She rejected my apology and told me how hurtful I was. She accused me of being irresponsible, pointing out I'd been intoxicated at a Halloween party shortly before announcing my pregnancy. I explained I'd been taking weekly tests and had tested negative before the party, not that it's anyone's business. She said that it wasn't fair I didn't have to change my lifestyle to get pregnant. She said that I was being inconsiderate of other people around me that have to make adjustments because of difficulty conceiving, and it was hurtful and inconsiderate. She went on to say that she was especially upset because I told her at a time when I knew her husband wasn't home, so she had no one to support her when she broke down over the news of my pregnancy. To be honest, I didn't even consider this. It didn't cross my mind at all. I genuinely thought she would simply be happy for my happiness. Now I'm feeling anxious, guilty, and a bit angry. No matter what I do, I can't please Audrey. I understand my news might have been hard for her, but it hurts she's been holding on to this anger for weeks now and taking it out on me. So, am I the idiot for how I told Audrey about my pregnancy? No, not the idiot at all. It's unfortunate that friends react negatively to your happy, positive, pun intended, news. She has her own reasons for feeling hurt, but that's not on you. Attacking your lifestyle and personal choices is also not cool. Sorry, OP. You are the idiot. You don't treat this news that way with someone struggling with fertility. That's common sense. Surely it's not rocket science to treat your friends with kindness and sensitivity if you know they have fertility struggles. You don't even have to go to great lengths. Just let them know gently at a time when they have someone to support them. I went through this with 2 close friends who had recent losses when I was pregnant. It's just basic decency. Why is she making your pregnancy all about her? OP has every right to be excited about her pregnancy. Lots of us have struggled with conceiving, but we're still happy for our friends that do. Do we sometimes feel hurt that others have what we can't? Sure, but we don't blame our friends for that. OP, that girl is not your friend. Exactly this. Audrey was shocked to discover that the world does not revolve around her as she'd always thought it did. If she seriously needed her husband to be home to support her after hearing your news, she's too emotionally fragile to be a mother. All 3 of my kids are adults with full-time jobs. None of them have contributed financially to our household budget. My wife went back to work full-time when our youngest was 7. He's currently 24. Our oldest is 27. The kids have no student debt. Our retirement property is overseas and that's where I am currently. 2 months ago I finally had enough. I came home from an out-of-town work trip and the food I requested wasn't in the house. And it isn't caviar or lobster or anything. It's a loaf of sourdough, some deli meat and cheese and some condiments. Enough so I can make a sandwich before I go grocery shopping. Apparently that was too difficult for 3 adults to manage. My wife and I argued about it and the kids took her side. I reminded them that they were supposed to contribute to the budget and then all 3 started whining about life being expensive. No heck, I'm working to support all 4 of us. Whatever, I made plans to go to our property on my next rotation. So after my time off I went back to work. Then when I flew home I just stayed at the airport overnight and flew out in the morning. I also didn't deposit money into the budget account, so they're paying for everything. The house, truck and wife's car are fully paid off, so they're paying for their own utilities, property taxes, food and bills, and they're all furious that I'm not giving them money. I'm good here. When I go back to work I'll do the same thing, just stay overnight at the hotel and fly to work. My company even flew me to a more convenient city from which I could fly. 3 adults with full-time jobs and a free place to live should do fine. Am I the idiot for refusing to subsidize my wife and kids anymore? No, not the idiot. It's bananas for an adult working full-time not to contribute financially to the household. But what's your next move? It already sounds like you're separated. Is that becoming permanent? I don't know how to assist you, but I wish you the best of luck. What exactly is expensive when they all work full-time and have no rent or car payments to make? If their electricity bills divided by 3 are so high that it eclipses a rent payment, they should use less. If they spend their money on food deliveries and shopping, too bad, so sad, not anymore. They can't expect free rides forever. A reality check is overdue for all of them. I think this misses the point. OP isn't angry, he's carrying his family, which is obviously important to him. He's reached a breaking point of being taken advantage of and for granted. That's a cardinal sin for those who work hard to have the ability to give to others. However, you probably should have made your kids adult long before this. From what you wrote, they appear to live with you and don't have much going for them. Update: I woke up and read so many more comments than I expected. Many of them made me think. I really do not love my wife anymore. I love my kids, but they're taking advantage. I'll be contacting a lawyer and initiating a divorce. I will also be pulling the plug on my retirement. I have enough money to last me the rest of my life here. I also have a defined benefit pension, but it won't kick in for 5 years. Part of the reason I was working so hard away from home was to provide for my family, but now I see they don't care about me. I will offer my wife the house in North America and my truck in return for a fast divorce. I think that's fair. I'll keep my home down here. The only other option would be to liquidate and split everything. She's spent 30 years getting the house how she wants it, so I doubt she'll go for that. If she wants to keep the house, I guess that will be up to her and the kids now. Thanks for helping me turn an intoxicated rant into a life decision.